It started with a desperate cry in the darkness and one goat's decision to risk everything. In a peaceful green valley surrounded by rolling hills, there lived a kind-hearted goat named Bella. But Bella wasn't like the others in her herd. While most goats kept to themselves, following rules and routines, Bella was different, curious, compassionate, and always willing to lend a helping hoof. Whether it was gathering berries for a hungry bird or helping an old rabbit patch up his roof, Bella believed something simple but powerful. Kindness is never wasted. The other goats didn't always agree. They'd often warn her, shaking their heads, "Bella, you care too much. The world isn't always kind in return." But Bella would simply smile and say, "Then maybe it needs more kindness." One evening, as the sun slipped behind the hills and the sky turned the color of steel, a storm rolled over the valley. Thunder growled and rain began to fall, cold and sharp like tiny needles. The goats hurried into their homes, latching their shutters, murmuring about the dangers that crept through the woods after dark. Bella stood at her cottage door, ready to step inside when she heard it. A sound, faint, desperate, a cry carried on the wind. It was distant, soft but unmistakable. Someone was calling for help. Her ears twitched, her heart pounded. She stepped back into the rain. "Don't go," the villagers cried. "It's dangerous out there. Stay inside." But Bella couldn't ignore that cry. Tightening her red scarf around her neck, she grabbed her lantern and stepped into the storm, following the sound into the woods. The forest was dark and eerie. Rain slithered down leaves, branches creaked, and the wind howled like a warning. Shadows danced in every corner. Bella walked slowly, calling out, "Hello, is someone there?" Then she heard it again, closer this time, a weak, shivering cry. She pushed through a thick bush, her lantern lighting the soaked earth, and gasped. There, tangled in a cruel wire trap, was a small fox cub. Muddy, soaked and trembling, his paw twisted painfully in the snare. His terrified eyes locked onto hers. Bella froze. Foxes were dangerous. The elders always said so. They couldn't be trusted. But looking at the frightened little cub, Bella didn't see danger. She saw someone in pain. She saw someone who needed help. "It's okay," she whispered, stepping forward gently. "I'm going to get you out." Using her hooves and teeth, she tugged at the wire trap. The fox whimpered, but didn't resist. After a tense few moments, snap, the trap loosened. The cub yelped softly and tried to stand, but collapsed again. Without hesitation, Bella tore a strip from her scarf and wrapped it around his injured paw. The fox stared at her, stunned. "Why? Why did you help me?" he asked, voice barely a whisper. "Because you needed someone," she said, smiling softly. "My name's Rooney," the cub said, shyly. "I'm Bella. Let's get you out of this storm." They walked slowly through the woods, Rooney limping beside her. Along the way, he told his story. He'd been alone for a long time, since losing his family, hiding, surviving, afraid. Bella listened closely, her heart heavy. When they reached the edge of the village, Rooney stopped, eyes wide with fear. I can't go in there. I'm a fox. They'll hate me." Bella looked at him, firm and kind. "Stay close. I'll talk to them." Soaked and muddy, Bella stepped into the village. The goats gathered around, alarmed. "Bella, where have you been?" "I found a fox cub in a trap," she said calmly. "I helped him." "A fox?" they cried. "You brought a fox here?" She nodded. "He's not dangerous. He's hurt. He's kind. He needs help." An uneasy silence fell. Then, the oldest goat, Grandpa Gruff, stepped forward. "Let us see this fox." Rooney stepped from behind the tree, limping. The red scarf around his paw caught the light. The villagers stared. Then, a small goat kid stepped forward. Holding out a berry, the kid said, "You look hungry?" Rooney blinked, eyes wide, then smiled gently and took it. "Thank you." From that day on, Rooney stayed in the village. He lived in a small hut beside Bella's and did his best to help. He gathered berries, chased away crows, and made the goat kids laugh with funny stories and silly dances. At first, the villagers kept their distance, but slowly, they saw Rooney wasn't the creature they feared. One morning, he spotted a snake sneaking into the chicken coop, and without hesitation, he chased it away, protecting the hens. From that day, even the most cautious goats greeted him with smiles. That night, under a sky full of stars, Bella and Rooney sat side by side. "I never thought goats and foxes could be friends," Rooney said softly. Bella looked up at the stars. "Kindness doesn't care what you are. It only cares who you are." And so, the village changed. The trap that once held Rooney now hung beside the village gate, not as a warning, but as a symbol, a reminder that sometimes bravery means stepping into the dark when no one else will, and that one small act of kindness can change everything. Bella would often gather the young goats and tell them the story, and every time she began with the same words. It all started with a cry in the dark and one brave step into the woods